I am very new to 3D printing and I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is that I wanted to print cool stuff and I figured out a way how to do that. So I'm going to share those steps that I taught myself with you guys. I bought a Bamboo Lab X2D because I wanted to bring the horror figure idea to life. But I quickly realized that owning a 3D printer is only half the battle. You still need something to print. That's where AI completely changed the game for me. I use ChatGPT to help brainstorm ideas and write prompts. Sometimes I use Midjourney to create the actual concept, but ChatGPT has helped me quite a lot. Basically, I tell it the idea that I have in my head and I let it design the picture for me. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But a little tweaking goes a long way. So ChatGPT is really cool because you can just be like, hey, remove the knife, or hey, do this, do that. It does a really good job at fixing the little things that you want fixed. Once I have the image, I then ask ChatGPT to show me the image in different angles. That's because when I put it into the next program, it's going to ask me for a multi-view. This program, Hi3D, is where we're going to create our mesh. A mesh is basically a 3D model made up of thousands of tiny little triangles. Think of it like a digital sculpture. It's the shape that tells your printer exactly what the object looks like from every angle. I'm going to leave the links for most of these websites in the description below, so if you get stuck, just check there. But this is our little mesh guy. I check him out just to make sure that he looks good before I print him. The cool thing about this website is that it lets you have a few tries. If it's not exactly what you want, you can retry. I go down the bottom, I change the file to a STL and download. You can find the download in the top right corner here, and all I do is double click on it. It takes me straight to Bamboo Studios. Easy as that. Once it's done and it's loaded into the program, it is small. So I push S to resize it. I want my guy big, so I just pull the corners out and I adjust his size that way. I don't want to print him laying down, so at the top you see a toolbar. I push the third one, which is auto rotation, and it stands him up. From there I want to slice him, but I need to make sure that he has support. So I go to support, I fill out all of my settings. You can ask ChatGPT for some help here because that's what I originally did to try to figure out what works best for me. But I make sure that he has supports and then I slice. The cool thing about Bamboo Studios is that not only does it tell you how much filament you're going to use, but it tells you the cost and how long it's going to take to print your little guy. Then I wait. Watching the printer work is so satisfying, but here's the funny part. Printing is actually the easiest part. So this print ended up taking around about 20 hours to print. And yes, it is quite a long time, but I usually put the print on just before I go to bed. That way when I wake up, we're almost halfway done anyway. This is where the manual labor kicks in. I have to start removing all of the supports, which usually break away pretty easily actually. I bought these little pointy nose pliers from Amazon. I get a lot of my stuff from Amazon actually. Now I'm going to use this little blowtorch to clean up all the little straggly strands. Next we have the Circle of Doom. These things on top. I know that there's a setting that'll stop these from happening. I don't know what it is, so if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below because I will absolutely try anything. It'll stop me from doing so much manual labor. The sanding. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me, but it has to be done. These little files are some of my favorites. Again, bought off Amazon. They just get in all the little nooks and crannies and get into spots that the nail file doesn't. And on to my favorite part. This part is very therapeutic actually, the painting. Depending on what I'm making, sometimes I'll put down a primer, but I didn't need to for this one because the whole thing is just going to be black. The only wonky bit was on the top, but I sanded that smooth anyway. The first coat always looks a little rough, but I usually do 2 or 3 coats. So I'm not too bothered with the first coat. I just want to get it on there for coverage. On to the eyes and the mouth. I end up putting a little resin in these. I accidentally forgot to record that part, but this is how it turned out. He's approximately 26 centimeters tall and I absolutely loved making it. Again, I'm brand new, so any advice, leave in the comments below and I hope you enjoyed the video.